has been approved by Outcasted OC. Viewer discretion is advised. Incoming transmission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Outcasted OC. We are here this week to discuss WWE's Money in the Bank predictions for 2024. I am super excited for this. As you can see, we have a special guest with us this week. We have Alan. How are you doing, Alan?
I am doing great, my friends.
Yes, amazing. How is everybody else doing?
Yeah.
I'm doing good, dude. Yep, it's good to be back. Good to be back.
Yeah,
just happy to be here, as always.
Always happy to be here. But yeah, I'd like to just take a minute to say thank you to Alan for taking time out of his 4th of July celebration to be here with us. We really appreciate it. So yeah, let's get on into the predictions. So
God bless America.
First match I have wrote down is Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. Alan, you go first with your prediction for this match.
How in detail do you want me to get?
However in detail you want.
As much as you want, yeah.
So, my biggest thing with this match, I think that they're going to use this match to really solidify Damian Priest's title reign, because getting a win over the inaugural champion doesn't, that just bolsters the title reign to a level that, you know, a lot of people have been saying, oh, he hasn't really beat those guys yet to really make it seem like he's the champion. So to me, I think that we walk into SummerSlam with Damian Priest and Gunther, because I think it'll give both of those guys legitimacy for that match. So I'm taking, unfortunately, Seth Rollins as my favorite wrestler, but I have to be realistic here. I'm going to take Damian Priest to win.
That's fair. You've got a good bunch of Seth Rollins fans in here, because me and Courtney are big Seth fans as well.
I've got almost a whole bookshelf dedicated to him. So
yeah, exactly.
If that doesn't scream I'm a fan, I don't know what does. But
so, Reese, do you want to go with yours next?
Yeah, I'll happily go. I kind of believe with the same sentiment, to be honest. There is a little wrinkle, obviously, the fact that if Damian loses this, he has to leave the Judgment Day. But I don't really see much mileage in that, I'm not going to lie. I see more mileage in the storytelling is Liv Morgan really has only one obstacle when it comes to the Judgment Day, and it's Damian Priest. Like, he's like the only person who isn't like under the Liv Morgan spell. And I fully believe that she's probably going to have something to do with him retaining this championship. Not for nothing as well. I don't think Seth needs it. I don't think Seth needs the championship back. I really don't. I think that's a step in the wrong direction for the world title. I mean, yeah, I would love to see Gunther versus Seth. Who wouldn't at at SummerSlam? But I'm more inclined to let Damian Priest have a 6 months title reign. So I'm going to go with Damian Priest.
That's fair. That's fair. Court?
Yeah, I've got the same sentiment as everybody else. It breaks my heart that I have to go against my king, but it's okay. It's for good reason. I think that we're going to maybe see the Judgment Day come out and try and interfere and help the match. Whether or not that helps in a good way or a bad way is yet to be determined. And as Reese just said, I don't think Seth Rollins is at a stage where he needs a belt to be seen as a top guy. He quite literally always has been a top guy with or without a title. And I think this is a really great opportunity to continue to prove the naysayers wrong when it comes to Damian Priest, of people continuing to call him a transitional champion and a paper champion. Like, I'm sorry, but he's not. And I think this is the perfect time for him to prove that. And he's even said it himself, you know, when people continually want to go ahead and say that I'm not as great as I am, I'm going to continue to prove them wrong. I'm unsure about how Liv Morgan is going to help out with Damian. I don't know if, you know, Liv knows that Damian is close to Rhea and wants him gone out of the Judgment Day. So like it's a group of Judgment Day that's all under Liv's spell and nobody that's too affiliated with Rhea. But yeah, my pick is Damian Priest to retain the World Heavyweight Championship.
Nice. Russ?
I was originally going to say Seth, but you lot all make very compelling arguments. And to be honest, I feel like Damian versus Gunther is the right time for probably Damian to drop the belt to Gunther more than anyone. So reluctantly, I want to say Damian retains, because I kind of really want to see the storyline of Damian out of the Judgment Day and where that would go, because I want to see like who would step up to try and be the new leader of Judgment Day and all the shenanigans that would happen there. And I can see a feud between Finn and Damian is already constantly being teased. So I kind of want that to happen again. But yeah, I'd say it makes sense. Damien retains to go two strong opponents against each other at SummerSlam with Gunther. And as what Courtney said, it won't make him look like a paper champion at all if he goes against like Gunther, who had arguably the longest IC reign.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Damien to retain as well. I was very torn because I don't like betting against Seth Rollins, but sometimes you've just got to. You've just got to. But yeah, I'm going to go for Damien as well for pretty much the same thing you guys have said. I think this will purely solidify his championship reign, and seeing him quit the Judgment Day I don't think is the right move because there is so much going on there right now, and as you said, the only obstacle in the Judgment Day now really stopping Liv is Damien, so I feel like that will build on the story with wherever that story is going for him to stay there. Damien versus Gunther at SummerSlam is going to be an absolute amazing match. I feel like Gunther is going to win that, but that's a story for another day. And Seth's clause was only while Damien was champion, so if Gunther wins, Seth can get back in there pretty quick anyway. So yeah, I'm going to go with Damien as well.
5 for 5, nice.
I know. I was just going to say, do we all have the same prediction on that one?
That first, I'm not sure. It's usually Ross betting against us, isn't it?
Hey,
Ross or Reese is normally betting against us.
I played devil's advocate. Okay, I played devil's advocate.
We must be reading at the same pace because we're all on the same page. Am I right, guys?
Talking about being on the same page, I will quickly explain our pay-per-view rule for this year, Alan.
Oh, yeah.
So this year we have decided to go against each other in predictions, and we are keeping score of everybody's prediction count for the year, including our guests. Our guests are combined into one giant category, so it's like you guys versus us, but everybody's got individual scores. So where we stand at the moment, in 5th place is Ross with 20.5 out of 41 correct. Not great. Then the guests combined are 25 out of 41. So any you get correct will get added into that after Money in the Bank. And then in 3rd place is me with 31 out of 41. And then in joint 1st place is Reese and Courtney with 33 out of 41. So
I told you at Clash, it's all going to go downhill for me. And it has.
There's a lot in it with them top. Me, you, Reese, and Court are we're really in for it. The guests, I reckon the guests could creep back up and take it though.
I can't believe I've only got 6 matches wrong out of this this whole year. It's pretty crazy.
No, more than 6.
More? Oh, okay. Well, sorry. Okay, a couple more than that, but you get my point.
Right. Let's go on to the next match then. So we have Sami Zayn versus Bron Breakker for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't think for a second. I was like, wait, which one does Logan have for the US? So yeah, Sami versus Bron for the IC Championship. We will go to Reese first on this one.
Right, okay. So I said this on the Snapbacks podcast, the second best podcast in the UK, on Monday. That this is, without a doubt, the hardest match to call on the card, in my opinion. Because you've literally got 2 people who have amazing momentum, 2 people who can't really afford to lose this match, kind of going against each other. You got Bron, who just got up to the main roster, who is on a Goldberg, but can actually wrestle, tear through the Raw roster. You've got Sami Zayn, who's just come off an amazing feud with Chad, who just beat Gunther at WrestleMania. What are you going to do with that? But so it's difficult to call. But I'm going to go with Bron Breakker, and I think it's rare that it happens. I think WWE just need to take the plunge on someone who is hot at the moment. They're very scared to pull the trigger sometimes when people are over with the audience. With this new regime of the Paul Levesque era, that they've been doing it a little bit more often. But with Bron Breakker, this guy is so over. He has got a character at the moment who just clicks with the audience, and I can just imagine him on a tear with the IC title. Give me what I want. Bron Breakker for the win.
Nice.
Love it.
Okay, Court.
The exact same as Reese. Just because, and this is the way I think about it, just because an event is happening in a wrestler's home country, it doesn't mean they're always going to go ahead and give those wrestlers the win. We've quite literally just seen this with Drew McIntyre at Clash at the Castle. It doesn't mean shit anymore in WWE. With that being said, your point, Reese, where you were talking about how WWE is very scared to pull the trigger, we've had the same conversations when it's come to the likes of Bronson Reed with the United States Championship. They were very scared to put that on him. I honestly think Bron Breakker is like a future top star, and what better way to A, solidify him as a top star, and B, continue to push that IC title and have a long championship reign, just like Gunther's had with somebody the likes of Bron Breakker. This is a great opportunity to move Sami Zayn up to the main event, and personally, I don't think a loss would hurt him. I think his story was finished at WrestleMania, and he's just continued to go forward in that story since WrestleMania. So I'm saying Bron Breakker for the win. I feel like if anything, if we see any title changes, I'm hoping it's with the IC title this weekend.
I agree.
Okay, cool. Ross?
Bron Breakker to win, and I'm calling the exact spot of how it wins. Sami Zayn goes for a haluva kick. Bron dodges it, goes straight into his spear. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I like that.
That would be pretty devastating.
Yeah, take a point away from him if that doesn't happen.
We will.
Yeah, right.
He's like, I'm already in last place anyway.
It's how I got my. Unironically, that's how I got my half point. Was I called a DQ in the match, but it wasn't the specific way they DQ'd. So
we
I got
literally were
DQ
going
as
through the points one day, and G said you had half a point, and I was like, "How do you get half a point?"
I called a DQ, but it was the wrong person who DQ'd.
I actually thought it was going to be that he got one half of the tag team titles correct for the undisputed.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's where my head was at.
No, I got both of them. I got both of those heavily wrong.
That's a good guess. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Alan,
yeah, no, like Bron just makes sense. Bron just makes sense right now. You've made him kill Ricochet off on screen. You've made him powerhouse through all these jobbers. Sami is an underdog. How do you make a new force that is as strong as Gunther and filling the boots of Gunther? That's what you've got to look at it. In my opinion, Sami hasn't really done that. Sami's just gone on the, I've defeated Goliath. Here's my victory lap. That's kind of how I saw Sami's title reign. So I feel like Bron is the perfect way to rebuild the belt as this is strong. Like, this is how we present this belt again.
Yeah. And that's not to say that Sami's not that. It's quite literally just to say, like, we've just had a really great title run with Gunther, and look what it's done for him. If we put that same energy into a new star who's just come up from NXT, the likes of Bron Breakker, I feel like we can do the exact same thing with him.
Yeah. I feel like I'll just go with my prediction quickly now. I'm going to go for Bron as well, because I feel like having a IC run like Gunther's and then a talent like Sami's, who was always going to be transitional into a new star holding the belt, was perfect. It was a great way for them to do it. So I've also got Bron Breakker to win that match. Alan, let's go with yours.
So I guess I'll be the odd man out on this. I don't think either man. Somebody's obviously going to win. I do think we get a DQ in this. I don't think that the title changes hands today on Saturday. I don't know if it's Sheamus that runs in. I don't know if it's Ludwig Kaiser that runs in. I don't know if it's Ilya Dragunov that runs in. I think that they've been building the storyline up too much with these other people involved in it, that they will 100% be involved in this match somehow, some way. I do agree with you guys, and I do think Bron Breakker is going to hold that IC title within the next 3-4 months. I think that they just want to keep having him work with the main guys and then have him take the title, because we saw him work with what was Kale Dixon. Then we saw him smash like a Ricochet. We saw him, he didn't get the clean win against Ilya. I think that they want the fans to get a little more exposure to Bron Breakker with guys like a Sami Zayn that they trust. And I think that, I don't know if it's going to be Sheamus that comes in and attacks Bron, which technically makes him the winner. But I don't think Bron walks out of there with the championship.
I can see how that works. I can work with that, yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll move on to the next match, which is the Bloodline versus Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens. Does anybody actually know which 3 members of the Bloodline it is?
No.
I believe it's the Gorillas of Destiny and Solo, right? I think that's what it is.
They're
So-
not giving
so-
it to Jacob?
He's on the poster, but apparently he's
Yeah,
got a
all
very
four of them are on the
extensive
poster.
criminal record to the point where they don't know if he'll actually be able to get into Canada.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
that's what I assumed as well, because I heard that rumors about his record.
I thought with our new IDs they don't care about that anymore because we have
no,
like,
but
those-
they've got all four of them on the poster, but they haven't explicitly said who's going to be there.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, well, we've got all four of them, so it could be any one of them, just so that it doesn't upset people if they're expecting Jacob and Jacob can't be there.
I was
Yeah.
going
Fair.
to say, because it is a triple threat anyway, isn't it? So, but to be fair, all four of them could get involved. It's the Bloodlines. They're known for stuff like that.
What if
Yeah.
Solo doesn't even wrestle? They said screw it, let's have the other guys, the
That would
lackeys.
be cool. I
Why
would
not?
really enjoy that.
Because if you want to build Solo and Cody to happen at SummerSlam, you wouldn't want to put him in to Money in the Bank match and then have him at SummerSlam. If you want to have that much more of a payoff, you'd have him at SummerSlam with just Solo and Cody, and have the Gorillas of Destiny and Jacob go up against,
I
the
think
other
that
three.
would be cool. Yeah.
Hmm.
Right. Anyway, Courtney, go for your prediction. Go.
I think it's Bloodline 2.0.
Yeah.
Solely because if you've just kicked out Paul Heyman, he's no longer the wise man of the Bloodline. If you genuinely want this Bloodline to be taken seriously on the main roster, you need to give them the win. I don't think it hurts Randy. I don't think it hurts Kevin if they are the ones to take the pin in this. I think it hurts Cody. So you keep him away from getting that pin. But I just think because this is Jacob Fatu, if he does wrestle, it's his debut match on the main roster. You don't want to bring in a talent like him and talents like the Gorillas of Destiny and give them a loss like this, especially if you are trying to have them continue to go down the path of destruction on the main roster and having them just absolutely just ruin everything while no one is there like a Paul Heyman to try and keep them in line. There's no one holding them back. I don't know if you guys saw the destruction that I saw on SmackDown last week, but they're not screwing around. They're not pissing around.
Oh no.
As we say over here, they didn't come here to fuck spiders. Like, they didn't come here to do any of that stuff. They're literally just wanting to absolutely ruin everything. So, it's got to be Bloodline 2.0. And I hate that I have to go with the Bloodline because this is obviously making Reese really happy. But I hate that I have to, give in to this because it just makes sense.
Nah, you just submit to the better
Yeah.
one now.
Sometimes it just makes sense.
Mm.
Always makes sense for the Bloodline to win. I'm loving it. I'm loving this logic. It's great.
Mm.
Ross, your prediction?
Do I need to, I acknowledge my tribal chief, Mr. Solo Sikoa. Get out of here, Roman Reigns. The new guy's in town with his new crew. The absolute goats of Gorillas of Destiny. The absolute madman that is Jacob Fatu. Right. All I ask for this match, let Jacob Fatu cook in the ring. Because y'all have not seen him. If you've never watched him before, you are about to experience the absolute craziness of this is another Keith Lee. That's the easiest way to explain Fatu. He is a powerhouse who can fly. This man does moonsaults for free, and he frog splashes to the point where it'll crack a rib if he wants to. Just let him have all the fun in the ring. That's all I ask.
Ross just showing off that he watches indie wrestling. We get it.
Hey, yo.
He's always
got it.
thinking like this. He's like, I know who Jacob Fatu is or whatever.
We
Yeah,
get
I
it.
know Jacob Fatu.
I watch MLW. I get it. It's me, Ross. Everybody. He was the longest reigning heavyweight champion. I know the fun facts. My name's Ross. My name's Ross.
You get it.
Normally it's just us that roast the crap out of Ross, but it's nice when the guests do it for once.
I know,
It gives
I
me a
love
break.
it. I love it. Yeah. Anything else?
Here. Also, just putting it out there, if you put in a triple threat match scenario in and you've got Gorillas of Destiny, never
Don't
bet
bet against them.
They've been neverweight trios champion for God knows how long in New Japan, multiple times.
I also watch New Japan Pro Wrestling as well.
We go.
Oh my god.
I also watch
Does
New
this guy sleep?
Japan. My name's Ross.
Does this guy sleep?
Yeah. Not
Hey,
very
Ross,
well.
You
but
watch
actually,
CNN as
He
well?
also watches TNA, GCW.
Oh.
not as much GCW lately. Not as much.
Okay.
Now that Pro
Oh.
Wrestling Gorilla's gone, he's got nothing to watch.
Mm.
Hey! I didn't care for pro wrestling.
You don't watch every wrestling company, you fraud. How dare you?
Fake
Pro
wrestling.
Wrestling Gorilla was like the
What a
best
fake
indie of them
fan.
all.
I know, but I I had times where
You should be ashamed of yourself.
I should,
Unbelievable.
but nah,
Pathetic, really.
I'm sorry, New Bloodline has to win this situation because it's Cody's not defending a belt. There's no titles on the line. There's no any big seriousness. It's just going to be a trios match of them beating the crap out of each other to lead to a War Games. Just let Bloodline win because they need wins right now.
Okay, cool. Right, I'm gonna go with New Bloodline as well. As we've said, if Jacob Fatu does get the chance to wrestle with it being his debut match, I can't see them losing. Again, I don't think it hurts Cody, Randy, KO if the Bloodline win. We want them to be on dominant point like they are, you know. Solo is doing some fabulous work right now. The best we've seen him do. Like, when he was with Roman, he was just silent behind the scenes. He was just there. He was just a fighter. And now that he's actually getting involved, I'm really enjoying it. I do think it will lead to a Cody versus Solo and then possibly a Roman versus Solo down the line somewhere. Something along that. But yeah, on the short terms, I'm going to go with the Bloodline to win this one. Alan, do you want to go with your prediction, please?
So I think we're obviously all on the same page with the Bloodline has to win. And yes, I did see the SmackDown. I was sitting 4 rows back watching Paul Heyman die in person.
Why didn't you go and save him then? Literally, no one was going out to save him, and I was like, "Go, someone, please go help him."
If you would have seen my reaction, my face dropped. How upset I was.
I saw it.
I was very, very upset about it happening. But I will say this. I actually think pinning KO doesn't make them look strong. So I think the only 2 options here are pinning Randy or Cody. And if Solo's in this match, the only way, in my opinion, Solo gets the SummerSlam match is if he says he has a pin over Cody Rhodes. And I know everyone, like, a lot of people I've been, when I make this, always argue that, oh, it's going to make Cody look weak. And I'm like, does it though? Does it actually make him look weak? Like, he's not defending his title. If he got, like, my perfect scenario is Jacob's in this match. We see Jacob run rampant, destroy every single person in the match. And then you get a situation where Jacob could pin Cody, puts his hand out, and lets Solo tag in. And he's the one that pins Cody in the middle of the Prime bottle. That would be my perfect situation. I could just imagine. It's one of those things where I've been saying for a while. We haven't had, because we had it in Scotland because of the crowd itself. We haven't had a moment where the entire WWE universe recently has been like, what the fuck just happened? Like, how did they just, there's no way they really just went that way. And I think if you have Solo pin them and all of them are laying there and you have the Bloodline with their ones up to end the show or wherever they put this match, I can't imagine the crowd's reaction to that.
And I feel like that will help people to stop saying, because people are saying that Solo's not credible because of how many losses he has. It's like that will actually shut people. That should shut people
John
up.
Cena.
Yeah, I know, but people are like, oh, he's 0-41. It's like, okay, but if he gets a win over Cody, that will hopefully shut some people up.
Exactly.
Yeah. Reese?
Uh-oh. So, like,
get ready for the 3-hour Bloodline.
No, I'm not going to go that far in. But like, this match is a cog in the bigger machine, which is the Bloodline storyline. Like, the end goal here, I think we can all agree, is a civil war, like like a War Games match at Survivor Series. That is how we get there. In terms of the match itself, I think it would be a massive mistake to put Jacob Fatu in there as opposed to the Gorillas of Destiny. You have the Gorillas of Destiny on your roster, and let's say you replace a Tanga Loa with a Jacob Fatu. I think that's just a bit stupid, in my opinion. I don't really get why you would do that. In terms of Solo Sikoa, he needs to be in the match. He is the head of the Bloodline because he needs the pinfall over Cody. It has to be over Cody. Just to build on your point as well, Alan, what you said before, does it make Cody look weak? No, it doesn't make him look weak. The same thing happened to Roman Reigns last year when Jay pinned him in a tag team match.
Yeah.
Like that didn't make him look weak. It was in a tag team match, and that's what got Jay his SummerSlam match. So this is how you get Solo to SummerSlam. This is how you build that that match. This is how you build the Civil War, because I'm assuming Roman Reigns is probably going to come back at SummerSlam, or Jimmy. One of the bloodline is going to come back, and then you get old versus new at Survivor Series. But to get there, the bloodline have to win this match. There's no and ifs or buts about it. Like, they have to win it because they're a new faction essentially. They've got a fully fledged member now in Jacob Fatu, along with the rest of the people that they used to have. It would make no sense if they lost this match. It would be stupid.
It would be like, what's all that work for if they're not going to? And going back to your point about, how when Money in the Bank happened last year and Roman was pinned by Jay, no one was saying, oh, Roman looks weak because of that. Everyone was just shocked by the fact that the pin actually happened. And he got pinned for the first time in 3 years.
And
so I don't think people will go in and say, oh, Cody's like terrible, he doesn't deserve to be champion, he just got pinned. Well, it's going to happen anyway when he loses the title. But this just helps in the storyline. And I've also seen a lot of people argue online, basically saying that the bloodline is boring at the moment. But I don't think they realize that that what's going on right now is a lull period in between, like Roman coming back and what we've just had. They're building up to that point. You can't just have WrestleMania, nothing, and then Roman come back, because what are you going to do with the rest of the bloodline for like 4 to 5 months while he's gone? These are the building blocks going into the next chapter and then into the next chapter after that.
I was going to say, every TV series does that. You have your big season finale, then you have, here's backstory of characters developing or training or getting better, and then, here comes a new villain. And that's what's happening with the bloodline.
I think it's because wrestling fans were so conditioned to not have this long-term storytelling aspect that Triple H gives us. And I can't be the only person to say this, but when Triple H's long-term storytelling finally pays off, you're like, oh my God, that was so good. It has such a good reward. It's got such a good payoff. Whereas for years, we never had that, because we had somebody who didn't give a crap about any of the stories and just drop them after 2 weeks and be like, oh, wrestling fans don't care about what's going on.
That's what the wrestling fans are like, though. Everyone says they love long-term story booking until it happens, and then they hate it because they are like, oh, why can't we have it now? It's like, wait.
What I don't understand is, how can you say that the bloodline story is boring right now after what we've seen the past couple weeks? Like especially the past couple. Like, I understand if you were complaining about like how Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa kind of had the same exact debuts. Like, I understand there was the fact that you had the Jacob debut where he literally destroyed 3 future Hall of Famers, and then we watched the bloodline get those guys kicked out of the arena, and then may he rest in peace, kill off Paul Heyman. What are we talking about boring? Like, if you guys it's funny, as I always say, it's based on the crowd. And when you saw the reactions from the crowds, even people that had no idea who Jacob Fatu was were absolutely freaking out when he had his debut. Madison Square Garden, when Paul Heyman went through that table, first it shook and then was dead silent. Dead silent. The fact that you can get a crowd that loud, that was literally they had to, because I didn't see it on TV, but I heard that they had to censor our crowd nonstop.
They did.
Because the amount of times we were dropping F-bombs, we were, they were the FU solos, the FU Tyrese, FU Logans, like New York's obviously a little out of pocket, but the fact that it got silent after Paul went through that table just went to show that it's not boring. Everyone is invested in what's happening, and everyone's going to be invested in this match. And however it ends, people are going to talk about it. And that's all.
And that's what you want. Yeah.
Exactly. That's all that we want as fans, and that's all Triple H wants as creative.
Yeah, absolutely.
Spot on.
Like, right.
Oh no, I was just agreeing. I wasn't adding anything. Cool. I was just agreeing.
So let's move on to our first of our 2 Money in the Bank matches. We're going to go for the women's match first. So our 6 competitors are Io Sky, Lyra Valkyria, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, Zoe Stark, and Chelsea Green. Russ, your prediction first.
He's wrong. I knew it. Okay.
But speak, brother.
Yeah, but you're wrong.
What's this, brother?
Oh, I love it. So funny.
So I've been constantly going back and forth between these two because I really want to see either of these two win because their gimmicks would just be great with the Money in the Bank on top of it. Give me either a Tiffany Stratton or a Chelsea Green win. I can't decide between those two.
One.
Have to.
No, don't,
Just
because
because-
I can't
Right.
either.
You've got to.
Right. Just because the veteran status that she is, she's been champion in other places before, and I could see the depth of where her gimmick could go with this Money in the Bank. Give it Chelsea Green.
Okay.
Fair play.
Even though, but like anyone in this freaking women's match, I would happily have them as a Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I think-
Naomi's could have a really cool
Yeah.
design of having like a glow effect around the actual suitcase.
Yo, just pick every one of them. Pick every one of them. Why not?
I wish I
Then you
could.
can't,
I
you can't
wish
get
I
it wrong.
could.
You can't get it
Give
wrong.
them all
Just
a
pick them all.
briefcase.
You get a briefcase. You get a briefcase. Yeah.
You get a briefcase.
The only person who I wouldn't pick to get the briefcase is Io because she won last year. I don't want a back-to-back Money in the Bank winner. I want new.
She would make history if she did that, though. She
Well,
would be
no,
the
I
only
know
woman
that,
to do
but-
back-to-back.
But I don't want her to be the person to do the back-to-back because I want new talent to have that chance.
Okay. Cool.
Fair enough.
I'm really torn as well between the two same people, Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green. But for the reasoning of how over she is right now, I'm going to pick Tiffany Stratton. It's Tiffy time, baby. I think she will make a fabulous Money in the Bank holder. Pink briefcase, Barbie, give it me all. I think she would be absolutely fabulous. So yeah, I'm going to go for Tiffany Stratton. Alan.
Okay, so I'm a big fan of the fact that I am actually probably going to be wrong, but I am a big fan of the fact that this year feels like both the men and women's, everyone has a quote unquote storyline with the briefcase if they get it, which I'm a huge fan of. I'm a huge fan of the fact that in this match, there's only, two former champions and also, only one person that's won it. But the way I look at it is I'm very big on what storyline I think will be the best with who wins it. A lot of people are, they're just like, oh, I just want my favorite to hold it and whatever. So there's only 3 storylines, in my opinion, that make sense with people holding it. Unfortunately, as much as I want Chelsea Green to be one of them, I don't think she has a really good storyline outside of having a really good gimmick with the briefcase. Like, she would be hysterical and annoying as hell with it, which is something that obviously we as fans love. But the Io Sky having the briefcase and getting her revenge on Bailey storyline, which everyone seems to be falling in love with recently, I don't want that to happen just because I do want fresh faces to hold it. And then the biggest one for me, and it's the storyline that I think is why I'm going to pick my winner, is I like the idea of having a champion that is friends with the briefcase holder. And unfortunately, I think we can all agree that Bailey is going to be losing her title at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think so.
Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax will be fireworks of a storyline.
I didn't even think about that.
With those two, because most people look at it right now where it's just like, oh, Tiffy has this bodyguard of Nia Jax. When Nia Jax is the champion and Tiffy starts playing mind games with her, I think will be absolute fireworks, which is why I really, 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 really want Tiffy to win. But I think every year, I always say this to my friends, I think we need to pick someone that has a viral moment in the match, because every year, either the men's or women's, we get that viral moment. And I think the reason why Zoe Stark is in this match is she's going to have that viral moment. I don't know what she's going to do, but she's going to do something freaky in this match.
She'll hit Z360 off the top of a ladder.
That's the way I look. I think there's going to be 2 ladders, and she ends up hitting a Z360 both ladders next to each other. But she's going to do something that's going to go viral, and that's why she's in this match.
If it's not her, it's probably going to be Naomi doing a ridiculous leg drop from the top of the ladder.
Yeah.
And if it's not her, it's probably going to be Io doing something insane.
Yeah.
No, because Io hasn't got a bin in this
spins.
match. Io does the bin spots.
Well, no, I'm saying like a viral moment, something crazy is what I'm saying. She doesn't just have to do a bin spot. You just
I feel bad for Lyra, man. Lyra doesn't get enough. Like, I'm starting.
Hey, yo, I love Lyra. We can talk
I'm
about
starting
Lyra.
to get the hype. I'm starting to get the hype. Like, when she first
I've
came
been
up,
on that hype.
I didn't get it. Now I'm starting to get it, and I like.
He's good.
She's actually my dark horse to win this match. Like, I would literally not be surprised if they say, screw it. She's Becky's protege. It's time to,
I'd be
do the
happy.
thing. I wouldn't be surprised, but that's just like, I had to, Lyra's, something about her, I can see it now.
She was great in NXT. She was unbelievable in NXT.
I was gonna say, like, literally, Lyra.
We
for me
get
is,
it.
like-
You watch NXT. Oh my god.
Excuse
So
me.
wait, we're not.
He
So NXT
reviews
is not even
it.
safe anymore. Oh, okay.
He reviews it, not me. I watch it.
He
I don't know. I don't know. You're talking about NXT. What? Never heard of it.
NXT.
Fuck you.
Love it.
Right, Reece, you want to go with yours?
Exactly what Alan said, and that's exact same as that's the whole reason I want Tiffany to win it. It's got to be Tiffany. You've got a perfect opportunity there to like I think everyone knows Nia's probably winning at SummerSlam. I can't wait for it. Finally,
I'm sad.
Nia deserves it. I think she had a great one since she's come back. And to have Tiffany there, kind of like as like the best friend, like with a pink briefcase, perfect, amazing. Tiffany Stratton has to win this match. I've literally got nothing else to say about it because you've summed it up perfectly there. So there we go. And the viral moment, screw it, I'll talk about that. I think it's probably going to be either Tiffany Stratton hitting like the prettiest moonsault ever off the top of the ladder, or Naomi hitting like a leg drop, like you said.
You don't think a swanton? In my head, I think if
I
Tiffany,
think
the
Swanton.
Swanton.
I think
All the-
Swanton.
I think if she goes for a viral moment, it's got to be a swanton.
Because she
All
did
the
Swanton
Swanton, yeah.
at Chamber, so I
Yep.
think she'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was so good. Love
Court.
it. I'm so torn on this because obviously you guys know I want either Tiffany or Chelsea to win. A part of me was going more towards Chelsea winning it just because I know how crazy she can be. And I would love to see a situation in which she doesn't realize the briefcase has an expiration date on it and she misses out on the opportunity to cash in because she's just that stupid she doesn't realize.
It
But-
would be nice to see a woman hold it for that long as well.
Yeah.
Because they don't really hold it more than the next few days.
No, I want somebody to hold
Yeah.
it for a long time. I don't want it
Yeah.
either cashed in on the same night or at the next PLE. I want a Carmella-like length when it comes to that. And whoever holds it, it's obviously I really want them to do it. It would be funny if Chelsea, just decided to cash in on the vacant Divas title. I think that would be funny as well too. But I'm very much switching up my thought because I completely agree with what you're saying, Alan, about Tiffany. Like, I don't think people realize that Tiffany is befriending Nia Jax on the side, and that could potentially lead somewhere because she's got that moment coming up with Bayley when it comes to SummerSlam. People have always said, well, Tiffany Stratton is talk, but I'm sorry, she can back it up in the ring as well. Just because she has a bodyguard in Nia Jax, it doesn't mean that she can't fight her own battles because she's very smart and she can cheat to win. She does everything that she needs to do. There's no opportunity left on the table. And I personally think like we could have a moment very similar to what we saw at this year's WrestleMania where Nia Jax is in a match with somebody for the title and Tiffany comes in and cashes in. Like that would be amazing because we've had no woman cash in at WrestleMania that I'm aware of. And also that would just be a viral moment in itself. One thing I'd love to see within this match that nobody's mentioned is a moment between Io and Zoe, because we didn't have that at last year's Money in the Bank. I'd love them to play into the history that they have in NXT. I feel like that would be really cool as well. Like,
Oh yeah.
From a tag team, man, yeah.
yeah.
Because
We didn't have that last year, but I really want to see them do that because I feel like Triple H understands that all of these women have some form of history with each other in this match. And as we say, all of these women actually, you could picture a situation where they are to win the Women's Money in the Bank match, which is why I think it's so hard to determine a winner because you could see anybody winning it.
Yeah, definitely. So just to confirm, that was a Tiffany. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's Tiffy time, baby.
It is Tiffy time, baby. So
Also, I just want to see a pink briefcase, that's all.
I know.
You think it's gonna be pink?
If they release,
Yeah, I think it'll be like bright
I may
pink.
have to buy it.
Okay.
Me too. I'll just hang it up.
I think she'll turn it into like a really big oversized purse.
Oh no, I reckon if she does anything, she's all about those designer bags. I reckon she'd have like a Chanel inspired briefcase. That was
Can we
a
not?
good.
Because I haven't got like 20 grand sitting aside to buy Chanel Money in the Bank briefcase.
I don't think they'd charge 20 grand for it, G.
You're right. It'd been more like 40.
Yeah.
I think it was like what 150, which I thought
Yeah.
was surprisingly a lot
yeah.
for whatever
Yeah.
this for this
For what
thing
it is.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
damn, okay, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Right,
For
so
real.
let's go on to our final match for the evening, which is the men's Money in the Bank match. And our competitors are LA Knight,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre, Carmelo Hayes, Chad Gable, Yeet, Jey Uso, and Andrade. I'm so torn with this, but we'll go to Alan first on this one.
Man, so I was very, very torn on this one. This is another one where I could literally see basically every single person in this match winning.
Yeah.
And here's my biggest thing, and this is actually what made me make my decision for who I'm going to pick here, is I brought 6 friends to SmackDown with me, and 4 of them had not watched wrestling outside of my reactions in maybe 10, 12 years.
Oh, wow.
And the first thing I asked them, I was like, when we finish the show, I want you guys to tell me who you think was the most over superstar, and who do you think was, like had like the biggest like heel reaction. So I want to ask you guys who you think. Now, there was a dark match, so this person was on the dark match. But on the people that were on SmackDown, on that SmackDown show, who do you guys think was the most over superstar on that night?
LA Knight. It's got to be.
LA Knight by an absolute mile.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when the show
Jey Uso.
ended and Jey Uso walked out, my friends texted me saying, I changed my pick. That was the most insane thing I've ever witnessed in my life. Like, we've seen Cena, we've seen Roman Reigns. They were just like, whatever that was unbelievable. And that was without them turning out the lights. That was without them bringing up the fireflies and everything. And it made me just realize at that moment, I had it as a 3-horse race between Drew McIntyre, Chad Gable, and Jey Uso. That moment right there, them telling me that he's just like, people say Cody Rhodes is undesirable to undeniable. I think Jey Uso right now is undeniable. Like, to take this, lightning in a bottle that they have and not put Yeet on this case right here
Yes.
would be financially irresponsible as a company.
It would be.
Would be irresponsible to the fans and everyone else. Like, you're telling me LA Knight can't go get the US title at SummerSlam. You're telling me Drew McIntyre can't get another title shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. Jey Uso holds this briefcase. It's going to be the most sold briefcase they ever had. The Yeeter in the Bank, or Mr. Yeet in the Bank, is going to be the most sold shirt that they have. It would be, in my eyes, the dumbest thing not to let him hold this briefcase.
He's also the poster child of Money in the Bank. There are no other posters that have come out apart from him on it, so it's literally for him.
But I do want to say one thing. This is what blew my mind when I started looking at this match. Have y'all realized that everyone but Carmelo Hayes has an enemy in this match?
Yeah.
That could like, if this is the last match of the night, can you imagine if they have 5 different interferences in this? Like, they just start having, they have CM Punk run in for Drew. They have the Wyatt Six take out Chad Gable. They have, if the Bloodline match is earlier, they have either let's say Jacob Fatu's not in the match, and Jacob Fatu takes out Jey Uso. They have Logan Paul take out LA Knight. They have Santos take out Andrade. I'm like sitting there like, hold on, like, what if all of them are knocked out and Carmelo says,
there's no one left.
Carmelo's like, wait, this is my moment.
Yeah.
This match has some potential to
Man
do
just
some
stole
fantastic
half my
story-
booking, by the way.
storytelling.
It's just the potential for viral moments in this match. I think that one of the viral moments is going to be an interference more than something happening in this match. Like, if the lights go out and all of a sudden you have the Wyatt Six surrounding the ring, that's going to be the viral moment. If CM Punk, let's say AJ Lee, everyone wants AJ Lee to be the one. If
Hello?
AJ Lee
Do you not
stops-
see my tagline?
Yeah.
Come save your man.
Like, if AJ Lee's the one that comes in, like, that's going to be an insanely viral moment. Like, I can't imagine what, like, this match I think has the potential to be a blockbuster Money in the Bank. Let's just hope they don't mess it up. Let's just hope they don't mess it up.
But they've been teasing the AJ Lee thing because they put up videos on the WWE YouTube channel of her doing it. That's why I put it as my tagline for today. And I've literally got it as one of my crazy spots as AJ Lee ruins the moment for Drew McIntyre. Honestly, like, Drew's at the top, she pushes the ladder off. I will scream. Scream.
You think she's able to push the ladder off with that big of a guy out there?
Surely.
You never know.
You never
Top
know.
heavy.
Yeah.
Top heavy.
She's looking pretty strong these days.
She is.
To this though, so imagine like Chad Gable's the first person to make his entrance for the Money in the Bank, so he's the only person stood in the ring. Jey Uso's music hits, the Fireflies come out, and the White Six are surrounded. They take out Gable before the match has even started.
Jay's like, you can have the Fireflies back though. Jey doesn't want them anymore. He's going to bring this kind of juju.
Did somebody replace him though?
Yeah, Otis.
Here's what I would do. Here's what I would do. If you're going to have an interference, Chad Gable and Drew McIntyre are climbing the ladders, right? The lights go down. Both of them at the top of the ladder. The lights go down. The lights come back up. Chad Gable's been replaced by CM Punk. and he's, no, I'm serious. And he's staring Drew right in the face. And you know Drew does that I hate you stare back at him. And Punk knocks him off the ladder. But Chad Gable's gone. No one knows where Chad Gable's gone. I think that would be perfect.
I love. Right.
And then we look up and Chad's just hanging from the ceiling.
Oh, God.
Chad Gable is in the briefcase.
Not like that, but they've put like a harness.
Are we doing
like Boxman? Yeah, right. We're going back to WrestleMania 15 right there. Yeah.
What I was trying to say is like they're trying to like get him up like on a pulley system, and it fails. And
yeah. You got like Edge and Christian and the Acolytes like pulling him up.
Mission Impossible.
That's what I was trying to say. I didn't mean it in a morbid way. I don't actually want Chad to
you look up and you see like the corporate ministry just carrying Chad Gable away.
Go on then, Reese, give us your prediction.
It's got to be Jey, right? It has to be. Like, it's everyone else has got their own thing going on. You got Chad Gable with the Wyatts, like you say. You got Drew McIntyre. He doesn't need a Money in the Bank briefcase. He's got that feud going on with CM Punk. LA Knight can easily, and we all know that's his goal, to take the US title off of Logan Paul. Carmelo Hayes is literally the only person in this match without a goal. And to be quite honest with you, he doesn't really need one. Like he's doing fine on SmackDown without a briefcase, without a gimmick. He could make his own way to either the US title or Intercontinental, or whatever you want to do with Carmelo Hayes in the future. He doesn't need the briefcase. Has to be Jey Uso. He's had so many chances at the World Championship over the past year, whether it be with Roman Reigns, whether it be when Seth Rollins was the world champion, when Gunther was the Intercontinental champion. He's come so close so many times, and it's got to be Jey. It has got to be Jey. Yeah. If it's anyone else, I'm not gonna lie, I would be disappointed if it was anybody else. I really would be. And like, and that's not even talking about all the endorsements or the merch that they would sell, like Alan was talking about. I totally agree with that as well. Like the Yeet case writes itself. Like, I'm not being funny.
2 briefcases.
I mean, I hate the Yeet thing. I'm not gonna lie to you, but like, it does sell merch. But so. It's got to be Jey Uso. Yeah, for no other reason except for why not Jey? Finally, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. Cool.
I think I was initially torn between LA Knight and Jey Uso, but I do think that LA Knight can still find his way into the match with Logan Paul at SummerSlam. I do think that Logan Paul is going to come out and cause the opportunity for LA Knight to lose, so that obviously that can go and play itself storyline-wise outside of the Money in the Bank briefcase. I think you've got to give it to Jey. Like, I'm sorry, but you've got to give it to Jey. How many times have we been saying over the course of the year while he's been doing his own thing, since he left SmackDown and left the Bloodline, how many times have we been saying we need them to pull the trigger on him? Like, how many times have we been clamoring for it? And also, I think one thing that we're forgetting is, if we are trying to get this old versus new Bloodline, who's to say that Jey Uso still can't be a part of the old Bloodline, but still be the Money in the Bank holder? Like, he can still go and do his own single thing, but when it comes to the common good with the family, I think he can put his differences aside and be like, yes, I am a solo star. I will continue doing my thing when I see fit because I have the briefcase and I'll keep an eye out for opportunity, but I'm going to go help out the common cause of the family.
Out of curiosity,
I agree.
In the Money in the Bank contract, does it say world title opportunity?
No, any
No.
title.
Any championship.
Any title.
What if? Okay, hear me out. What if Jay was to win, reunite with Jimmy, and use it for the tag belts?
I'd be down.
How
I'd be
about
down.
this? What if Jey Uso becomes the NXT champion?
Yay!
Who's to say that?
Yeah.
But also, who's to say that, say, for example, if the Gorillas of Destiny are tag team champions and he wants to cash in with Jimmy Uso to win it back,
Yeah.
that's how
Don't
you
do it
get
that
Gorillas
Don't
of
do that.
Destiny versus the Usos. That is
Don't
how
do
you
that.
get it.
There's
Yeah, but
endless
don't
possibilities.
do that to me.
Why, Ross? Why?
You don't give Gorillas of Destiny the championship belts and then take it away from them. You just
Who
don't.
said it has to be taken away? It could be a failed cash in.
Good, I hope so.
Not everything has a success rate. Do you even watch wrestling these days, bro?
No.
Such a mark, bro. Such a
Such a
mark.
mark.
Oh, no,
GOD
sorry.
mark.
Sorry, I don't watch sports that give me concussions.
GOD mark. Yeah, you do. You watch New Japan Pro Wrestling? What are you talking about?
Oh, no,
That was
no,
the
no.
joke. For fuck's sake.
It's always funny when we're roasting him, but yeah. So my
I
take-
didn't know that
Ross
Ross was a
show.
PewDiePie fan.
don't bring him into this.
Who's a PewDiePie? Who the fuck is that guy?
Oh yeah.
Did you have anything else to say, Court?
No, I think, as Alan said, I think everybody else bar Carmelo Hayes has an enemy within this match, and it makes me slightly concerned. I'm like, are we actually going to have a winner out of this match? But I think we will.
I have one thing to say about this match, and I think it's one of those things where, like, I don't really want it to happen, but I've never wanted something to happen more in my life, to be quite honest. So it's a weird contradiction.
Mm.
Why is Dominic Mysterio not in this match? Like,
Yeah.
can you imagine? All I'm saying, right? Can you imagine if Seth Rollins beat Damian Priest for the title, right? So Damian Priest is out of the Judgment Day. He stood there at ringside, devastated, and then Dom comes out and cashes in on Seth while Damian is still stood there.
Mad.
You know how much poetic justice that would make? Because I'm pretty sure that Dom's debut match on the main roster was against Seth Rollins.
It was.
Back
Yeah,
in
it
the
was. Yeah, SummerSlam.
So-
Can you imagine though? Damian's face, what if and then the rest of the Judgment Day in the ring cheering with Dom. Oh, mwah.
And you just got
I
Liv
don't-
and Dom stood next to each other as world heavyweight champions.
Yes.
Mad.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want it to happen, but I've never wanted something more to happen in my life.
That sounds cool. It sounds cool. Ross, can I take a guess at who you're going to pick before you actually pick? I think he's going to pick Andrade.
I'm actually not. That's
Oh.
the worst.
Oh,
That is genuinely the worst option of everyone there. Andrade has like no storyline or direction going.
that's
into
not
this.
nice.
Poor
That's not
Andrade.
a nice thing to
care.
say.
He has vignettes every single week. What do you mean no storyline?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because the vignette.
But don't you think that because they don't have anything going on with him right now, like you
Give him
do something with the guy? Do you not
Isn't
think
it-
that's what we should be focusing on? Not he hasn't got anything. It's what can we do with him?
Isn't he
Yeah.
the speed champion? Put some respect
He
on his
is
name.
the state champion. What's the
Oh yeah,
I'm not spoiling what happens.
Oh, yeah,
Is he not-
doing a
Oh, is it yesterday? It was yesterday. Never mind. It was yesterday.
It was
It was
yesterday, yeah. Oh yeah,
Oh, no.
he's doing wrestling matches for 3 minutes. Really is exciting.
Right,
It was,
Go on
it
then,
was
Ross,
5
give
minutes
us
for
your
the championship
prediction.
match. Stop. This guy
Cool.
doesn't even watch the fucking show.
he doesn't even watch WWE speed.
Yo, get this guy off the screen real quick. God dang.
Alan woke up and chose violence today. He's like, nah. We need to have you as a regular guest on this podcast. It's so good to see someone roast.
Go on then, Ross. Give your prediction.
Nah, I don't think I will now.
Oh, just get on with it.
So I'm gonna pick.
Wow, okay, fuck you. Actually get fucked. Now I'm done with this podcast. You know what? This is Ross's final ever episode. Fuck all of y'all. The grass is green. The grass is not greener on the fucking other side, apparently.
Right, go on then, Ross. Give your prediction.
LA Knight.
Why?
Simple as. because I can. I don't care.
I'm not against it. I'm not against it. I'd love it.
I genuinely have no care for this men's one because, as Alan put,
What?
as Alan said, everyone's got an enemy. This just feels like all the people that haven't had enemies against each other have just been slapped in. The only one that makes sense that the two have a little bit of beef in this whole feud is Carmelo Hayes and LA Knight have gone a bit of back and forth. That's it. All the rest of them just feel they've been thrown together. I would have really loved to see, as you said, Dominic and Andrade in the same ring against each other because they had they won't they team up moments together. Heck, Dragon Lee would have been a better option than freaking Andrade because he's kind of in a limbo state right now. They added him to LWO and have done nothing for him. At least with Andrade right now, I'd rather them not do something with him, put the pressure of a Money in the Bank on him because they're rebuilding his whole character. And I'm sorry, you can't complain about your booking from one place to go to another place and have the exact same booking.
Yeah,
No, that's where I am with this. For me, the only person that makes sense out of these ones, LA Knight, because LA Knight's never had a championship. The only other person that I would say is Chad Gable. But right now, Chad Gable doesn't need a Money in the Bank contract to go and get that. They're building into his character to make him legitimately win a title on his own back. Yes, maybe with the help of the Creeds, but they're legitimizing him as a character that is... I just said that. I don't know why I fucking speak.
Here's what I don't understand. Why? How did they not get Logan Paul in this match?
This is my point.
Yeah, but like he's so good at these, like specifically these type of matches where like you need something viral, you need something good.
The chair spot last year with Ricky. No, the ladder spot with Ricky.
Yeah,
the Spanish.
And that was his first ladder match as well too.
Yeah,
like but it's with him, like he could do so much with so many of the, like he could do something with Carmelo. He could have done something with
literally
Andrade. He's already beefing with LA. Like,
I really think they could have given him like a Shelton Benjamin moment in this match.
Yeah,
like I still think they could do it, in my opinion. I mean, I know this is very specific, but I feel like they should do the. Do you remember the very first Money in the Bank match where Shelton Benjamin ran up the ladder and like clothesline Jericho? I think he could do that to LA Knight. I think he should do that to LA Knight. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Also, like a buckshot lariat. That would be cool.
Speaking viral moment, I do think interferences are going to happen and everyone's going to get thrown out of the ring. I think they're going to do a moment where Chad Gable's left on his own in the ring, ready to climb the ladder, and then all you're going to see is the lights turn out and the ring underneath him. There's going to be a hole with someone dragging him down like the old Seth Rollins spot they had where he literally got dragged down into the ring, and you're going to see Chad trying to fly out of it. I think they'll play that spot more than anything because that would be cool. Oh my god, they're actually genuinely finally going for Chad. Because all they've done is kind of like, we're spookily lingering around you. This is the perfect moment. Like,
I'm liking the promos from the Wyatt Six, but I definitely feel like we need some kind of action from them now.
Yeah, and I think that's the perfect one to do it, is do a callback of let's grab someone from under the ring, pull them down into the ring.
Didn't they kill everyone in the stadium a couple weeks ago? And you guys want more action?
Yeah,
more.
They had like 20 bodies to their freaking claim, and
yeah, man.
I want 21.
The bodies more, man.
I need 21. I need one every week.
You can't have a group of serial killers without them not consistently adding to the body bags.
I know, fakers. Boo.
Rude.
Boo.
Right, so I am gonna go with Jey Uso. Wow. The second they announced this man was in the match, I was all there for it. I do agree with a lot of the things you guys have said. Every single person kind of has a reason that if they won, it would make sense, except like Carmelo, because he's not really doing much with anyone anyway. But even if he did win, I'm not against it. But then again, same for like the other guys, as you've said, LA Knight could easily get another chance without the briefcase. Drew McIntyre doesn't need a title to have the feud with CM Punk. Gable is kind of overdone with the Sammy thing now, so that it just makes sense for Jey Uso to win. And as we've said time and time again, that guy needs his chance, and now his chance to have his spotlight. Let him have it. So yeah, I'm gonna go for Jey Uso as well.
I just thought of something.
Go on.
Imagine if he was the one to cash in on Cody.
That'd be
Jey
cool.
Uso?
Oh,
Yeah.
he brought him over, yeah.
That'd be cool.
I don't know why I
What?
just thought of that, but it would be cool considering they've got history, but also like I don't see a world where if Gunther's the champion, Jay successfully cashing in on him considering that match that they had ages ago for the IC title and Gunther beat him.
Here's the biggest issue that sucks about all the guys we're picking outside of Gable is the faces, when they cash in honorably. That's the only thing I hate about that whole idea. They're not gonna turn Jay heel. I think we can all agree there. So like that's the only thing that kind of sucks a little bit in this situation. That like
I agree.
Like LA Knight's still like a tweener in like some senses. So like we wouldn't be surprised if he did it either way. But like Jey Uso, whoever's a champion, is gonna be like, okay, let's do it at Survivor Series. Let's do it at
I also don't like when they call their shot. Like I don't like when they go ahead online and say I'm going to be doing it on X date. I liked the suspense that we had at WrestleMania this year, where like the opportunity was there and we were guessing, is Damian Priest going to do it? Is he not? And he did it. I like when that happens because it's you never know when that moment of they're actually going to cash in happens, and when they do, and it's without us knowing, and it's just insane. I need more of those moments. I don't want you on Twitter saying I'm going to cash in on this date because it takes away from the suspense for me, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
it does. And I said this on the Snapback podcast on Monday and I agree. Like a heel holding the briefcase always works more. It's more of like a chicken shit tactic to win the championship. It just works better. And the only time, in my opinion, where a babyface is called a shot and it works well was when Rob Van Dam did it to John Cena. Yeah. And that was nearly 20 years ago, just to make you feel old. Like, that was nearly 20 years ago. Like, that's the only time it's ever worked.
Like, it going back to the whole, like, Cody and Jay thing, like, I could see, like, that type of moment, it being cool because it's, like, they have history. He's, like, doing it the honorable way. He wants a shot, you know, whatever. But, like, how do you, like you said with Gunther, if Gunther's holding the title, Jay's going to be like, all right, Monday, you and me for the belt. Like, it's not, that, like, doesn't sell itself like it should.
No.
That's the only, that was the only thing, like, holding me back, like, when I kept going, like, because you always have to think, right, because when we watched the documentary yesterday, they know their destination. They know what match they want. It's all about how do we get there. And it's like, it was funny. I was sitting there talking to my buddy about how this might, like, Solo Sikoa is what Jey Uso was supposed to be if he never left the bloodline, right? Like, that was the whole like the whole thing behind it. He was the right-hand man. He was supposed to become this new head of the bloodline.
Yep.
How do you now sell me anything with him as the champion outside of competing for that title that he was supposed to be competing for if he was head of the table? That's the only thing that kind of, I was like, shit, how do we get there?
Yeah.
So
he essentially needs to walk up to Cody Rhodes and say, I'm cashing in, do you feel me, sir?
Yeah.
Do you feel me?
Do you feel him, sir? But that's the thing, is the Money in the Bank briefcase, it needs to, irregardless of who's the champion, because that Money in the Bank holder can go to SmackDown if they're on Raw and they can cash in. They can go to NXT if they want. They can go to Monday Night Raw if they want. It needs to have that, the champions need to have that looming fear. It does not matter who I am in the ring with on this day. This person could come and cash in on me at any point in time. It doesn't matter the storylines you've got planned in advance. That briefcase holder needs to be in the background observing everything and waiting for their opportunity and cashing in when that moment is right. And that's what I miss about the type of the Money in the Bank briefcase. I don't like when they go ahead and say I'm doing it at Survivor Series. I don't care. I just need you to be waiting for your moment. And then when that moment hits, it's like a holy shit. Like, that's what it needs to be.
I feel like Triple H understands that whole suspense and doing it like not knowing when they're coming. I feel like it will be a case of that. We will get that.
Well, because we had two of those. We had that with Io. Like, sure, she, in my opinion, could have held it for a little bit longer. But that moment at SummerSlam, that was perfect, because that was the first time in a very long time that the women have not cashed in within like a 7-day window of receiving it, whether they cash in on the night or they cash in the day after or cut like a week later. And then obviously with Damian, that made storyline sense because he had issues with Seth Rollins and with Drew McIntyre going into that match at WrestleMania. So that made sense. So I'm really hoping that Triple H is aware of we need to pull this story out for as long as we can, because I don't think if you cash in the same night, it just doesn't bode well for me.
For real.
Cool.
For real.
If nobody else has got anything else to say about Money in the Bank, I think we'll wrap up there.
No, nothing else to say. I've got something else to say about the weekend, the NXT Heatwave. Looking forward to that on Sunday. It's going to be a great show.
Yeah.
Can't wait for
Do you want to quickly just run through the match card? What have we got?
Yeah, okay, I'll go through the match card real quick. So we got a tag team match, NXT Tag Team Champions, Nathan Fraser and Axiom taking on Chase U. That's going to be a really cool match. We have got the Chase U. I can't wait for that. It's going to be an amazing match. We have got the Women's North American Championship match. We have got Sol Ruka taking on the champion Kalani Jordan. Another really great match coming up for us. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I thought you went. I thought because I went Chase U. I thought you said you, and then when you said it to Sol Ruka, you were like, "Who?" I was like,
I actually did.
Do you not watch NXT?
I don't actually. I've never have.
Fair enough.
We have got the men's North American Championship match. We have got champion Obafemi defending against Wes Lee, possibly the greatest North American champion of all time. We have got the women's NXT Championship match. Lola Vice, Latina Heat taking on Roxanne Perez. That is going to be a great match. I have a feeling that's going to steal the show. And then in the main event, we have got a fatal four-way for the NXT Championship. We have got the champion Trick Williams defending against Sean Spears, Ethan Page, and the young OG Javon Evans. I can't wait for that show. It's going to be great.
Nice.
Good card. Sounds
Good.
good.
Really good card. Oh, and then on the pre-show, we have got Irina Grace and Carmen Petrovic taking on Jasmine Nix and JC Jane.
Oh, nice.
Who?
Yeah.
I watch NXT Level Up, so I know who Carmen is. She's good. She's good.
Why do you watch Level Up but not NXT?
It's after SmackDown.
Oh, okay.
This is true.
Makes sense.
True.
Makes sense.
Fair enough.
We got to throw something on when we chat about the show.
Yeah, fair.
Right then, guys. Alan, thank you again so much for joining us. Do you want to let the viewers watching know what socials they can find you on?
My TikTok kind of got banned, so
I know. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I do have the backup. We have Allenownzwrasslin with a G instead of wrestling. It's wrestling, and then just Allenownz on everything else.
Yeah, I have put your 2 TikTok accounts in the description. So obviously the Allenownzwrasslin one has been banned at the moment, but it's just a G on the end to find the backup one. Yeah.
Why is it being banned?
Because AEW don't like me. They copyright strike me. So I will be honest. Okay, look. There's the one strike that I got from them. I completely understand. I was live at the stadium, and I showed the set. I showed the ring. Some of the matches were going on, but it wasn't like I was like, "Oh, guys, look, it's Hechicero and MJF." Like everyone kept saying, "Can you show us like what it looks like?" So I was like showing them and everything, but they gave me 2 strikes, one from AEW, one from Fight TV, for me reacting to MJF's entrance.
That's mad.
In person.
Oh, that's bullshit, man.
So like,
Yeah, no.
and I was like, literally in my head, I was like, of all things, you're gonna get me for that. When I'm there, and the worst part about it, I was there with a ticket company to promote AEW tickets.
That's wild.
Like, I was there to promote AEW tickets, man. But it's all good. It happens. I'm not gonna.
I hope, fingers crossed, you get it back. Fingers crossed.
I've accepted it's gone, and we just got to rebuild. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Rebuild, dude.
I don't think you'll have no problems rebuilding. You'll get there.
You'll be fine.
Redesign, rebuild.
Right then, guys. So that has been our Money in the Bank predictions. I hope you enjoyed. I hope everybody has a great weekend watching Money in the Bank. Put your predictions down in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and yeah, there's plenty of content coming next week. We have got a SmackDown review coming from Ross on Saturday. Tuesday with Courtney's Raw review, Wednesday with Reese's NXT review, and then we are back next Thursday with our Money in the Bank and Raw afterthoughts, and talking about things that happened over the weekend. So yeah, that is us, guys, and we will see you for the next one. Bye!
Catch you later.
Adios.